So guys, good evening and hope you can see my screen. So this is the master program which we guys are delivering. We have two master program. One is for AWS and the second is Azure. So today the topic what we have decided that's fall under AWS category. So in under the AWS master program, we have a program, like a three courses: AWS Solution Architect, AWS Advanced Networking, and AWS Advanced Security Specialist. Okay. So we have some topics to discuss today. So Rajiv, over to you. Now I'm giving the host access. You can share your screen and I'll start with the introduction.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. So I think everyone is able to hear me clearly. So I don't think there is any noise or any disturbance from my side.
Yes,
Is
Raj.
it clear?
It is
Yeah.
clear.
So I think you are able to see my screen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So let me introduce myself. So my name is Rajiv. So at present I'm working as a solution architect in one of the organization. So one of the major MNC. And there I used to work on Google Cloud as well as AWS, where I used to give the solutions to the customer. So, in a simple statement, if I want to say that we used to get the request from customers, so whatever they have in their on-premises, something like workloads. So, if they have the application, databases, networking stuff, and whatever they have on their own data center, so we used to take those data and we used to do as part of our cloud implementation. So what exactly need to go into the cloud? So what is the costing? What should be the budget and all those stuff? So what security controls we need to put in place? So all those tips I used to do that one. So I manage around 10 different teams. So on Google Cloud, we have around 6 projects and 4 projects on AWS. So and in these projects as well, we have something related to multi-cloud. So where we are using AWS and GCP in one project, we are using GCP and Azure. So there are multiple things which we are doing as part of my commitments in my organization. So coming to today's topic. So let me tell you what we are going to discuss. It is simple thing. Okay, so I don't. So I'm not sure what exactly all the people who has joined here will do. So if you are working as a network engineer or if you are a security engineer, so you mostly what you do related to IP management. So coming to the IP management, it is very critical in order to do the management of IP addresses if we are the provider side. Okay. So if we want to manage our IP addresses to our customers, what we do normally we need to have a Excel sheet, and in that Excel sheet we used to enter all those details, and we used to get into that Excel sheet, and we used to search for which customer, which IP address we have given, what is the gateway IP addresses, all those stuff we used to check in the Excel sheet, which is very complex to do on a daily activity. So some organization will use some third-party tools which are Solar, Wind, Infoflex. So there are some third-party IP management tools where it is very costly related to the licenses. Okay. So what AWS has done is they have introduced one service which is called as AWS VPC IP address management. Okay. So so we are going to discuss two different things. One is IP address management, and the next thing which we are going to discuss is about the transit gateway. I think everyone knows what do you mean by transits. From one place to another place, if you want to route the traffic, we used to have a transit device, which
Right.
is something like hub, right? We used to have a hub, and all our network devices will be connected to that. And from there, from the hub device, we are routing all our traffic. So in AWS also, we have the same type of concept, hub and spoke model, which is called as transit gateway. Okay. So let us start with IP address management. So what exactly IP address management is? See, in a simple statement, what I want to say is you don't need to do anything, just you need to create an IP pool. and you need to attach to the accounts. So here, okay, let me, I think you can able to see my whiteboard, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what will happen is, suppose if you are working with HCL technology, okay? So in HCL technology, if you are a network engineer, so you have multiple customers, something like I have customer A, customer B, customer C. So what you will do, the IP related to customer A, you will put it in your Excel, and the IP address related to the B customer, you will put it on the Excel. And what you will do, if someone is attaching the new things for D, you need to go manually and you need to put it in that Excel sheet, which is sometimes what will happen, it will be mistake. There will be some mistakes. So in order to eliminate these type of things regarding to manual issues, what we do is we will in AWS has introduced VPC IPAM, address IP Internet Protocol Address Management. Okay, address management. So what exactly it do is it will create a pool of IP addresses. Okay, pool of IP addresses means, what do you mean by a pool? It is nothing but a range of IP addresses. So something simple way what I can say is I will take 10.0.0.0/8. So this is my pool of IP addresses. Okay. So what I can do is I can divide this pool into two different scopes, that 10.0.0.0/16 and 10.0.16.0/16, something like this. Okay. So that what will happen is, suppose if I want to use this IP address for development projects, I will use this range. If I want to use for production work, I can use this range. So what I am doing is I am automatically managing this IP address in my account. So in simple statement is, what I am doing is I am centralizedly I am accessing my IP address. So you don't need to go anywhere. So whenever you create a subnet from here, what will happen is it will automatically monitor. Okay, it will automatically monitor those creations and it will update in the dashboard. So I will show you. Don't worry. I will show you how this dashboard will look like. So once if you create 4 different subnets with /24, that means you are using 1,000 IP addresses. So it will show these 1,000 IP addresses here, and in these 1,000 IP addresses, how many IP address you are actively using. Okay, how many actively IP address you are using. So everything, the count will also be there in your dashboard. Okay, so not only in a single region. Suppose if you are working in a India, so not only in particularly India region you are managing this IP address, you can manage multi-region as well. So if your customer is there in multiple regions, and if you want to manage those IP addresses also, you can manage. Okay. So all these things will be managed by transit gateway in the backend. Okay. So what we will do, we will have a transit gateway in the backend, and we will be peering that one. I think someone is on. Can everyone on? Can me on mute, please? Okay. So here we need to understand two things. Okay. So once you go to this one, so here you can see there are 3 different terminologies. Okay. The first one is scope. The second, already pool we have discussed. Allocation also we have discussed. So what do you mean by a scope? Scope is nothing but
ठीक है चल 11 बजे तक कर क्यों
Praveen, can you unmute, please? Yeah, thanks. Okay. So what do you mean by a scope? Scope is nothing but we are reserving a CIDR ring. Simple. So you don't go with this one top level container segregating public and private address spaces. Don't go with this. Just we are reserving the IP address for our use. Okay. In our organization, we are just reserving the IP addresses in our scope. Okay. And whatever we are reserving the IP address in the scope, from this scope, we are creating different pools. And from these pools, we are allocating our IP addresses. Simple thing, I will tell you what it is. So whenever a customer comes to you as a network engineer, what you will do, first they will ask for the IP ranges. They can come and say that I want 60 IP addresses. They can come and say that I want 128 IP addresses. So if you want to allocate this one, first of all, you need to have a scope. That means you need to have a IP range first. And this IP range, so for every customer, you will not use the same thing. Okay. So what you will do, you will just divide already you have divided this range into two different parts, but two different type of customers. Okay. That means this range should be for this customer and this range should be for another one. So that is the reason why we have a pool of IP addresses. So in this one, I will have /16 here and I will have /16 here. And once it is come to the allocation, depends upon, suppose if your project is related to development, I will allocate that one from here. And if that is related to production, I will be allocating from here. Okay. So that is the understanding of these three terminologies. So any questions till now? Yeah, you are okay to ask. You can unmute yourself and you can ask. So I think everyone will got what do you mean by a scope, pool, and allocation. So why we are using these things? For automating of allocation of IP addresses. That is the simple reason. Automating this one. Allocating of IP address, we are automating this one. That is a simple statement which I am going to give on this. Any questions? Everyone is clear?
Is it similar as a DSCP?
No. DSCP, what it will do, it will give to your host machines, right? It is
Right.
not allocating the IP addresses. So
Okay, got it.
DSCP is a protocol which we are allocating the IP address to your host machines.
Host. Correct.
So what you will do, you will have a server of DSCP, and in this one you are giving the range. Okay, if you don't have a network, how you will give this range to your DHCP server? So we are talking about the network here. We are not talking about the host.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions?
Like
You are free to ask.
info blocks also like info
Correct.
blocks.
Yes, info block is also the same thing, but the only difference between those is licenses. Okay. So coming to here in AWS VPC, whatever we are discussing, it is compared to cheaper than info blocks. Okay. So we have solar winds as well. Okay. So we have different things. Okay. So see, if you are going with AWS, okay. So what we do is we go with cloud native tool itself. Okay. So two different providers we don't need to go. Okay. So in a simple statement, I don't know the exact costing, whatever it is there right now, but the costing now, which I have seen recently, is they are charging around $2,000 to $3,000 for 10,000 IP addresses. Okay. So I'm not pretty much sure, but what I have seen in recent times. Okay. But whenever it comes to AWS, around 7,000 IP addresses, it is charging around $1,000. Okay. Or it may be less. Okay. Depends upon your contract or depends upon your bargaining with the provider. If you are giving any 3 years or 4 years or 5 years of term, then what they will do, they will give some more discounts on this one. so that you will get around $600 to $700 per those many IP addresses. Okay. See, if you are talking about 7,000 IP addresses, then this will be the cost. If you are using only 150 to 300 IP addresses, then the cost may be less. Depends upon the usage. Okay. So I will not say that 100% this is the cost. The total depends how much you are using. Okay. Any other questions?
No question.
Oh, so now let us go to the next one. See, now this is the organization. So see, on a thing, if suppose if you have one project, two projects, you don't need IPAM. Okay, you can manually manage those IP addresses. But if you are going to a large enterprise, suppose if you have thousands of users and you have thousands of projects, then it will be difficult for us to manage those IP addresses. Okay. So here in this diagram, you can simply understand that I have an organization called as HCL Technology. Okay. HCL Technology. In HCL Technology, what they have done is whenever they have opted for AWS provider, what they will do is they will create a organization. Organization is nothing but it is a top level group. Okay. It is a top level group. Okay. Under these organizations, what will happen is, so how it will be the hierarchy. It is the same hierarchy how we operate in our organizations. Okay. So HCL Technology is an organization. Under HCL Technology, you will have multiple verticals, right? So you have something called as manufacturing, life sciences, something like cloud infrastructure, all these things. So there will be different verticals. In the same way, in our AWS also, we have different verticals in organization. That verticals we called it as organizational unit. Okay, we have something called as organizational units. Again, in that organization units, you have multiple projects. If I take cloud infrastructure services, CIS, okay, under CIS, so there will be projects related to AWS, project related to Azure, and project related to GCP. So what this means is you have different accounts. See, if you are all working, you are working with multiple clients, right? If I'm working for HCL Technology, you will be working for Infosys, Wipro, or some other things, right? In Wipro also, you have multiple clients, Bank of America, HSBC, something related to Verizon. So different. In the same way, we will have accounts. And under accounts, we will be creating our resources. Something like we are the resources of that client, right? So we are going to work for them. That is the reason why I'm calling it as a resources. Okay, resources is nothing but suppose if you want to have an application where you deploy on your virtual machine or you deploy on your Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so you will working on Kubernetes cluster or you can work on Docker images. So these are the some of the things. Okay, so we are not going with this one. So just here, what you need to understand is whenever you create an organization, you will have multiple accounts. So this is the account where I will have my AWS VPC IPAM. And by using this IPAM, I will be sharing my network VPC or subnet with my dev account. Okay. So let us see this one in practical. Okay. So first of all, I have created my organization in my account. Okay. In my account, I already have my organization. Okay. So let me go back and let me show you. So this, if you go and see, so once you log in into the AWS, it will show you something like this. Okay. It is the front page of your account. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is First, I will show you organizations. Okay. So under organization, we have, so this is my management account. Okay. So this is my management account from where I have created my organization. Okay. From where I have created my organization. So here at present, I have only one account. So let us do one thing. I'm going to create an AWS account here, and I'm putting the name as something like network account. So where I'm going to create my VPC IAM, IPAM, so that from this account, I'm going to do everything. Okay. So now I'm going to give a email ID. Give me just a second. Let me add it. Sorry, I'm just checking what mail I need to add here. That's all. Okay. So I'm going to add one account which I already have. Okay. Email.com. And this is the default role which we are going to use for this one. Okay. So this is the email ID and this is the account. And what I will say, I will click on create account. Okay. Now you have exceeded the allowed number of AWS account. I think this is my free trial account. Okay. But that will not be the case. I should create. Let me try one more time. If not, I will just show. I will go and show it in this project itself. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Leave it. Yeah, the accounts are not being created. I will take it later. So now what I will do, I will go to AWS VPC IP address manager. Okay. So Amazon VPC IP address manager. Click on this one. So once you have created this one, what I will do is first I will click on create IPAM, allow VPC address to replicate member accounts with this one. So just select it. I'm going with the free trial right now. And if I go to advanced trial, it will be multiple regions. Okay. So that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give demo teams. Okay. So I'm going to give the same thing here. So I'm going to operate in my northeast one. This is a region. So I'm not enabling IPv6 address right now because we will go and see on IPv4. So click on create IPAM. So now I have created my, hello.
राइट वो पिन में हाँ कोई सा भी कर लो बच्चों को पर्सनली नहीं होते
Can
ग्रुप में डाल देता हूँ
can you unmute?
ट्राई फ्रॉम दिस लिंक कर दो
Guys, please be on mute. Okay. Okay. So now the second thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a scope. Okay. So there are two scopes already created. Okay. So if you go here, so at present, we don't have any thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and create. So here, yeah, that's fine. Everything. Now I will go and create my pool. Okay. So what I will do, I will click on create pool. I'm going to use my private scope here. Under private scope, I'm going to give dev pool, and I'm going to IPAM pool. Why it is throwing IPv6? 1 second. 1 second. Why it is? 1 second. Let me go back. It is not selected as IPv4. But why it is throwing the error? Give me just a second to figure it out. Okay, it is saying upgrade to advanced tier. Okay, let me do this one. I think in the action, edit, advanced tier. Okay. Okay, so now I will go to pools and now I will click on here. Okay. 1 second. I think it will take some time to reflect. It is modifying progress. Yeah. Okay, modify complete. Now I will go to pools, click on here. Now you can see you have IPv4, IPv plan feature scope, plan space with a VPC. Okay, so at present I don't have any VPC. Okay, so what I will do, I will go back to VPC and I will add a VPC here. Okay, so that it will be clear for you. So if I have added everything and if you are not able to replicate after that, so it will be a problem. So that's why. So I'm going to create a VPC here. So I'm going to create a VPC with the name dev IPAM pool. So I will give 10.0.0.0/8. So I'm not going to do anything. Click on create VPC. Okay, so it's 16. So now, so let me come back from here, go to the create pool. Let us wait till it reflects. Okay, so it will take some time. Why it is not coming? See, if resources are created, it will take few minutes to appear. Okay, so let us wait for some time. Okay, let us do one thing. Let us provision the CIDR here itself. Okay, so what I will do, I will give 172.16.0.0/16. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything. Okay, so I'm not planning within a VPC. So I'm just going to create within the scope. Okay, so just add it here, and I'm not going to add any allocation rule, something like that, and click on create pool. So now the pool has been created. Okay. So now it has been created the pool. So now, so my pool is ready. How I will do the allocation? Simple. You can go to create a VPC. You can give the name dev1, and here you need to select IPAM IPAM allocated IPv4. So it will take, I think it is still creating. Okay. Now there is another point. Why it is not showing? if you can see here, now you are not able to see here. Why? I will tell you. Because this pool is not shared to this account. If you want to share this pool with my account, what I will do is I simply go to resource access manager. Okay, resource access manager. This is another resource which we are going to use now. Okay. So now I'm going to shade by me. So click on create resource share. So here I will give dev IPAM pool. I will select here. I will click on VPC. One second. Resource IPAM pool. So I have a IPAM pool here. I will select this one. Click on next. So there are two different roles. Okay. So role is nothing but how it should work. Okay. What should be the permissions it should have so that it can go and work on your projects. Okay. So I'm not going to change anything here. Click on next. Now here it is saying you want to allow to a particular account your organizational account or to particular IAM role. So where you want to select this one. So what I will do, I will click on organization and I will say what is the organizational ID. So how you will get the organizational ID? Just go to AWS organization. And select this is your organization. Root is nothing but your organization. Just enter here. Why it is not working? Okay, let us take this one. Organizational unit. Okay. So I will go with organizational unit. Yes. So why it is showing only this many things? Okay, I will check it later. Okay. So I will just click on add, click on next. One second, what it is showing. Next. And click on create resource share. See, it is unknown. I think there is some issue with my organization. Okay. Because it is not creating anything. Okay. So what we will do, we will give it at the account level. Okay. So we will give at the account level itself. Okay. So I will say demo IPAM. I have missed to check my account before this class. Add. Next. Click on resource share. Okay. So now the resource has been shared to my account. Now, if I go back to my VPC, now I think it should highlight whatever the IPAM pool I have created. Okay. So let us just refresh my page once. Why it is filled, the resource owner cannot be associated with the resource share. Why it is getting failed? Give me just a second. Let me figure it out. Why it is throwing the error? Okay. Give me just a second. Organization. Okay, sorry for this. Okay, so there is some issue with my account. Okay, so I'm not able to figure it out why it is not able to create, because here I have my organizational ID. Okay, but I'm not able to create. So do anyone have their account? Any AWS account with you so that I can share it with you so that my lab will be completed.
No.
Okay, so give me just a I have one other account. Whether that is working or not. Let me figure it out. Give me just a second.
Yeah, no, you should take your time.
Okay, so let us do one thing. Let us take it to tomorrow. Okay, let me park this one aside, the lab. Okay, because I need to create a new account and I need to set it up again.